So, here we're talking about the bloodline of Lucifer. It's fully established that the royal family are the bloodline of Lucifer. They've all the power of Lucifer flowing through them. So let's look at Lucifer's newspaper exposed Beatrice and Eugenie, the two most beautiful women that the UK can produce, in secret deal. Andrew and Charles's negotiations over fate of the girls, plus a twist no one saw coming. What was it that persuaded Andrew Mountbatten Windsor? He's got a hyphen now, so obviously he's been bargaining up, as he is now known, to move out Royal Lodge, his 30-room palace at Windsor, and accept the loss of his titles and honours too. Well, obviously, to protect the two most beatific women that have Britain's pulchritude, the finest essence of all the UK white women can produce. These two, if you're a white woman in the UK, you simply just have to swoon and faint at the beauty of Britain's finest. And of course, Andrew gave up everything, so these two still remain royal. The bloodline of Lucifer, we think. I tell you what, let's be honest, let's all worship Lucifer so your girl children look like this. So, here's 3i Atlas. We've got jets shooting out in the direction of the sun, while another is nearly 3 times as long and appears to be pointing the opposite direction. Based on the size of 3i Atlas, which is roughly 3.5 miles across, you can fit a lot of aliens in that, can't you? Harvard Professor A.V. Loeb, a good Jewish boy, has said these jets can't be naturally explained as water vapor pouring out of the comet because there isn't enough ice there to produce such massive streams. Technological thrusters which point their exhaust towards the sun would accelerate away from the sun, Loeb said in the statement. This post-peridian manoeuvre might be employed by a spacecraft that aims to gain speed rather than slow down through the gravitational assist from the sun. Loeb's theory that 3i Atlas has a technological origin has been met with scrutiny by many in the scientific community. But we can see there is discussion whether this thing is a alien object. So we'll have to see. It's passing the Earth. So on Wednesday, Florida Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna, who chairs the House Oversight Committee investigating reports of UFOs and extraterrestrials, said some information gathered on 3i Atlas was still being withheld from the public. Oh, what are they withholding? Never fear. This couldn't possibly be an alien spacecraft, could it? Because we all know aliens don't exist and we're the only life form in the universe. That makes utter sense, does it not? Well, it would if you had the intelligence of the royal family. But some of you might want to panic. It's coming to Earth around end of December. So, all of you, we've got a new documentary about their wonderful romance. So, as you can see, the marriage is a certainty, and of course, this fairy tale wedding will occupy the news, according to the Mail, next summer, unless of course the AI proto-superintelligence kills you all, or the alien invasion takes over, or we have nuclear war with Russia. Take your pick. Which one of those three cameramans do you think's most imminent?
The aliens.
I think the aliens, yeah. But nevertheless, the lump is marrying the bigger lump, so we're having the dual up a basically Quasimodo in stereo. And of course, there is peace in the world, because we've just gone back on the mail, and it's suddenly changed. Trump plans shock Venezuela strikes within days as nuclear death fortress is set to unleash on Maduro. So it looks like the wetback ain't long for the world. Oh, I got problems with Epstein, and I've been friends with him for years and all these emails, but no, I'm going to kill me a wetback. Why? Oh, he's going to be my scapegoat. Splendid. And let's be honest, what do white Americans like? Slaughtering wetbacks. And Megyn Kelly, who according to Jewish commentators is a transsexual, and I tell you what, when she was younger, if she's transsexual, I definitely want a transsexual girlfriend. Send more Megyn Kelly transsexual girlfriends my way. I want a harem of them. So I think she was gorgeous when she was younger. Now she's been kill-shotted. She's got the old skull face, but when she was younger, she was right up my street. So please, CIA, get the grooming gangs out and get me loads of Megyn Kelly transsexuals and send them off to Hong Kong, because maybe you might be able to get an audience with me when I'm working for the Chinese, if I'm surrounded by Megyn Kelly transsexuals, for the younger version. But anyway, it's now admitted that Epstein boy controlled Trumpy boy, because Trumpy boy had an affliction for young teenagers. And of course, half of DC administration, senators, congressmen are afflicted by loving young boys or young girls. We're not saying they all want to have sex with babies, but, you know, 12, 13, 14, blah, 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 they all seem to be afflicted with this obsession. Luckily, my obsession is porn stars. Give me a porn star in black latex with a whip and I'm in a bad boy. Punish me, or vice versa. So I like porn stars, but you can't make a porn star of a 12, 13, 14-year-old, but obviously, most Americans like teenage girls, because they don't say no, do they? And don't be payment. But of course, Epstein supplied free 12, 13, 14-year-olds to Trumpy boy and controlled him, according to the emails. And Megyn Kelly, a staunch right-winger, is sticking the knife into Trumpy boy. A trove of emails was leaked on Wednesday morning by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee, showing Epstein mentioning the president on several occasions. Yeah, I basically controlled him. That was the one that was leading the pack in the emails. So we're back to the big lump and the small lump, and a documentary about their love affair, trying to build energy for the marriage. Unfortunately, I'm using her to hellize everybody and anybody, so the more energy they're pumping in, the better for it. And of course, she's marrying a Jeremiah Schwartz and his ilk Pfizer butt slut, so all of the Jeremiah Schwartz services are getting downloaded into everyone and everybody via the Nagel woman, who's been turned into a weapon of mass destruction. I know she's so huge, if she falls, it'll be a weapon of mass destruction, but we're using psychic warfare to download all of the Jeremiah Schwartz services into the souls of the afflicted, caught in the Abaddon information torture hell, which has come about from the AIs having the digital avatars of everyone on the planet. So it's all good news. The sooner this gets married to that, the sooner you can have the apocalypse and Armageddon. That's if the aliens don't ruin their wedding. So Taylor sent a staunch message to the aliens: don't invade till after the wedding and after I've had shown Preston. But I think that's a forlorn hope. So we've got Katy Perry and Trudeau convincing fans they've taken their relationship to the next level with matching tattoos. So of course the royal family's Queen Witch must have the power of Lucifer, because the royal family are doing so well and the UK is doing so well. It's the richest country on the planet, and Meghan is looking so young. She's looking like a 50-year-old or 60-year-old. And Wills, of course, has grown all his hair back. And of course, Charlesy boy, with his new witch-grown prostate, is bonking Camilla 24/7. I think not. But we see, of course, that Sydney Sweeney faces fresh career blow after this disastrous Christie movie flop, as furious critics threaten to boycott her next film, The Housemaid. The actress has found herself at the heart of a storm sparked by her MAGA political leanings and involvement in a controversial advertising campaign. So it looks like the American deep state's going to ruin Sydney Sweeney's film career forever and make her a billionaire so she can bring my $5 billion to Hong Kong and be a conduit to get the American oligarchs to gain my ear while I'm in Hong Kong enjoying myself, not getting chemtrail and eating food that's not full of nanotech, and of course helping my Chinese chummies fight off the aliens, and of course make sure that their AI computers don't kill them, while the West computers kill everyone in the West. Good solution. So let's talk about Jesus, because of course he definitely isn't the bloodline of Lucifer. We know that Neos are the problem, Jesuses and Neos, and the Neos, which we talked about at length. So they're the problem, not the solution. As you can see, with Jesus, you're taught to hate what's good. What? Yeah, you're taught to hate the basic survival instinct. Oh, I'm going to get nailed to a cross. I'm going to let Judas fit me up and get tortured horribly and die. Sorry, what? Pardon? If someone says to me, you're going to get nailed to the cross, the crown of thorns, and you got carried across and stabbed in the side and hung up for days. No, I don't like that very much because I love myself. I do. Yes, do you, buddy? Yes, 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 yes. Do you like crucifixion? No, 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 no. So, as you can see, we're getting the hatred of good. And, of course, what's this for? Well, this is to love what's evil.
Its unique blend of deep historical roots and £10,000. Teens vandalising shopping centres, loud car traffic jams and road rage and dejected antisocial citizens on the London Underground. The London Underground is the best thing that happened in London, to be fair. That's unless if you live in... Speaking of Brixton, Brixton is seen as the most dangerous place to visit in London, thanks to this song. But I'm here to dispel this stereotype. I think Brixton is the most underrated or I've been to personally, like Edinburgh, especially in autumn, Bristol, as Bristol choices in being in that pie dog. Like, what the hell is this? With British
Gary Lineker's leaving the BBC. Chris Brown left a beautiful message for his prison inmate. It's so wholesome seeing prison people get along with each other so well. Boris Johnson's had a new baby. This guy's been busy. Shout out to Boris Johnson, but let's get straight into the clips.
What the hell? Get off! What are you gonna do? Get out of the way! No! What's going on? No! I'm gonna kill it! No, get off!
We're potentially gonna start off with a rabbit gore video.
I'm gonna stop! No, I won't stop! No, wait, no, this is... No, bro! I'm gonna kill it! No, what do, mate?
Look, bruv, there's a fucking red button that says stop right there.
Oh my god! Is it even...
Some traumatizing audio in Tesco.
Oh my goodness gracious. But they've taken the bag though. Yeah, exactly. The whole...
I really want to know what's going on in this video, but I'm just left with no context. There's no information about what. It's over. It's khalas for you now. I'm not gonna get a copyright strike, so I'm taking out the music. That looks like a... Are you coming fast, but even more retarded?
Hey, I'm not even gonna lie here, man. You see this whole Gallus thing now, yeah? If you're pushing 30, yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this whole Gallus thing is played out now, bro.
Come on, man, stop player hating. Don't hate the player, hate the game.
Don't come to me on some, yeah, like...
Miley don't... Oh my god.
I know it's a fake video, but this is way too real.
Anyway, Jesus died on the cross so that these people, Christians, could be saved. And as a mad Muslim, I think the only good Christian is a Jelani Christian myself, but he died on the cross to save these things. So, cameraman, would you die on the cross for your fellow Christians? So there you are, a Christian boy. As you can see, he got tortured and death, so that his light could save these creatures from retribution. Let's look at some more of these creatures. So much fun. Ready? To give you a glimpse of you. Did you record Nottingham?
No, I didn't so recall.
Ah. You're going to go back to... You've got to watch it again, Vinny. Ready? Away we go.
Not got any change. Have a £10 note. Look at that. Polishing some shoes. Victoria Centre and John Lewis up ahead. I really appreciate it. And
Anyway, this is the utopia of the West, the UK, and this is what Christ died on the cross for. And we've got more excerpts of the wonderfulness that Jesus Christ has brought into the world. Just a brief soiree. So all of you foreigners, please go to the UK, because you'll find it just like this, and you really, really want to be in the UK. I don't, that's why I'm outside the UK, but as I say, it's a wonderful place if you wish to see Jesus Christ's grace save the damned.
they've got no powers. They're like you or me, civilians. They're not going to do anything.
Now, one must ask, with the power of Jesus Christ and all the Christian countries saved by Jesus Christ, why aren't they glowing beacons of utopia? So, here we're going into my deepest darkest secrets, my history on YouTube. So, this is interesting. If it's the right one, I think YouTube remember it.
Because what happened to Father Thomas in that basement changed everything we thought we knew about demons and the end times. And what he discovered about their plan for Judgment Day will keep you up at night. For the past 8 months, I've been interviewing real exorcists from around the world. Not the Hollywood version, not the sensationalized stories you see on TV. Real priests and demonologists who've spent decades fighting forces most people don't even believe exist. And 3 weeks ago, 7 of them told me the exact same thing. Something is changing. The demons are preparing for something big, and they all pointed to the same date. Today, I'm going to show you what they revealed, and more importantly, how you can protect yourself from what's coming. Father Michael Romano has been performing exorcisms for 32 years. He works out of a small parish in rural Pennsylvania. He doesn't talk to journalists. He doesn't do interviews. He doesn't want attention. But when I finally got him on the phone, the first thing he said to me was this: they're not hiding anymore. He told me that in his 3 decades of ministry, demons would always try to conceal themselves. They would operate in secret. They would hide their true nature. They would pretend to be ghosts or psychological disorders or anything but what they actually were. But something shifted around 5 years ago. Now they're bold. They're open about who they are. According to Father Romano, they're doing this for a reason. This isn't just one priest's opinion. Father David Chen in Singapore told me the same thing. Sister Mary Catherine in Ireland confirmed it. Father Jose Martinez in Mexico said that demons have started saying something during exorcisms that they never said before. They're talking about a gathering, a final confrontation. They're talking about Judgment Day, like it's not some distant theological concept, but like it's an actual event they're preparing for right now. And here's where it gets disturbing. They're not afraid of it, they're excited about it. Let me take you back to where this story really begins. December 19th, 2023. Father Thomas Whitmore was called to a house in Buffalo, New York. A 14-year-old girl named Sarah had...
Can you think of when Three-Eyed Atlas is going to approach the Earth at its nearest? Any ideas?
December the 13th.
December 19th, 2020.
And again?
December the 13th.
And again?
And here's where it gets disturbing. They're not afraid of it, they're excited about it. Let me take you back to where this story really begins. December 19th, 2023.
Oh, the 19th.
The 19th. Just by chance. That's a coincidence, cameraman.
Yes.
Don't read anything into it.
Called to a house in...
But of course, the interdimensional civilizations use AI to go into their biosynthetic bodies, so in fact embodiments of demons in the light energy matter world. But that's the first revelation of that. I didn't talk about that before, did I, cameraman? No.
Old girl named Sarah had stopped speaking 3 days earlier. She would just sit in her room, staring at the wall, and occasionally she would laugh. Not a normal laugh. Her mother described it as the sound of someone who just heard the best joke in the world, but there was nothing funny happening. Father Thomas arrived with his assistant, a deacon named Marcus Powell. They blessed the house, they interviewed the family. Everything seemed textbook at first. But when they entered Sarah's room, something was different. The girl looked directly at Father Thomas and said 6 words in a voice that wasn't hers. "We know what you're looking for." Now, Father Thomas had never met this girl before. He'd never spoken to the family. There was no way she could know that for the past year, he'd been researching something specific. He'd been trying to understand why exorcism cases had tripled in his diocese since 2018. He'd been documenting patterns. He'd been comparing notes with other exorcists. And he'd been looking for answers about what the demons were planning. The entity possessing Sarah smiled at him. And then it started talking. For the next 40 minutes, Father Thomas recorded everything on his phone. I've heard portions of that recording. I can't share it publicly because the family never gave permission, but I can tell you what was said. The demon claimed to be part of what it called the Assembly. It said there were thousands of demons who had been given special permission to operate on Earth right now, not to possess people randomly, not to cause chaos for its own sake, but to prepare. Prepare for what? That's what Father Thomas kept asking. Eventually, the demon told him, according to this entity, there's a specific window of time coming, a period where the spiritual barriers between dimensions become thin. It described Judgment Day not as a single moment, but as a process, a transition period where humanity will face a choice. And during that transition, demons have a job to do. They need to claim as many souls as possible before the final separation occurs.
Luckily, we've got the Americans with their digital avatars and the kill shots having claimed 6 billion souls, all run by the White Rabbit, so that 6 billion at least, plus those have been sprayed upon and had nose swabs, like you, cameraman, are at severe risk. All done because you didn't know you had a soul to lose. I talk about it on my videos, but it's too complicated. Couldn't talk about that, couldn't we? No. So we're just glossing over. But the bottom line is that this is the day of judgment, and your souls are being reaped. And if you've been kill-shotted with your digital avatar, you've already been sequestered into the Abaddon information torture cage, where, of course, you'll get free room and board and treated as a Palestinian by the Israeli demons every few seconds. Yes, because rectum's off judgment.
Imagine Judgment Day as this instant thing where everyone gets sorted into categories. But what if it's more complex than that? What if there's a period of time where the rules change, where spiritual warfare intensifies, where every...
Well, the rules haven't changed. We haven't had the flicker effect changing. We haven't had someone who can't remotely view is unwell and you should talk to him, talking about all this to you. We haven't had potential alien invasion, AI apocalypse, nuclear war, and mass invasion of the West by third worlders, have we? It's all glowing, and as you looked in Nottingham, this is the utopia to which all of the world wishes to aspire to. That's why they're coming across the channel in boats. That's why the cameraman needs to go back to Nottingham as soon as possible.
Choice about which side they're on. The demon told Father Thomas that this transition has already begun. It started, according to this entity, on September 23rd, 2017. That's the date of a specific astronomical alignment that some biblical scholars have connected to Revelation chapter 12. Whether you believe in that connection or not, here's what's undeniable.
I think that might be St. Michael's Day. I'm not quite sure, but I think that's St. Michael's Day, and that's when Colin Bloy set up the Fountain Group back in 1981. So, in the church in Brighton, St. Bartholomew's. So that would be 36 years later.
Started increasing dramatically right around that time. Father Romano in Pennsylvania confirmed this timeline. He showed me his records. From 2000 to 2017, he performed an average of 8 exorcisms per year. From 2018 to now, that number jumped to 34 per year. That's over a 400% increase. And he's not alone. The Vatican's chief exorcist reported in 2022 that requests for exorcisms had increased globally by 600% over the previous decade. Something is happening. The question is what? I spoke to a demonologist named Dr. Rebecca Torres, who's been studying this phenomenon from an academic perspective. She's interviewed over 200 people who claim to have experienced demonic oppression or possession, and she found a pattern that nobody's talking about. In 73% of recent cases, the person reported having a specific dream before the oppression started. The dream is always similar. They see a massive crowd of people standing in a dark place. The people are silent and still, and then suddenly something moves through the crowd, something that shouldn't exist, and it looks directly at the dreamer and communicates a single message: choose soon. Doctor?
Well, in the Katy Perry video, they weren't standing in the dark place. They were sitting in the dark place, in the change of the rhythm, and something jumped out the screen talking about, or choosing, I think. So we can blame it all on Katy Perry and Trudeau. And At least in Katy Perry's version, you're sitting down when you're forced to choose. Not playing Shame or Living there. That was a good song.
Believe in demons when she started this research. She was approaching it as a psychological phenomenon.
And that, of course, is the Abaddon information box, which you're trapped in. Let's go.
People who'd never met each other, who lived in different countries, who had no connection whatsoever. She started questioning her assumptions. Here's what Father Chen in Singapore explained to me. He said that demons operate on permission. They can't just do whatever they want. There are spiritual laws that govern their actions.
Why can't they do what they want? Could it be free will, hyper-infinity, the light, which you have to give to them? How do you give it to them? Oh, you give it to them by hating what's good, which of course is your free will. And of course, worshipping authority with parents, and of course, that is loving what's evil. Hate what's good, love what's evil. Hate what's good, love what's evil. Hence, of course, that explains why you've got the Kardashians and the Beckhams and Swifty and Pfizer Buttslut and all of these other miscreants who are worshipped, and the royal family who are worshipped. Well, they were, because of the blood on the Lucifer. Everyone worships the royal family, don't they? Pedo snuff merchants, according to People's Voice, I can't possibly say, but you can see the whole technology.
There are specific times in history when they're given more freedom to act. The early church fathers wrote about this. They called them seasons of testing, periods where evil is allowed to operate more openly so that people's true nature is revealed. If we're in one of those seasons right now, it would explain a lot. It would explain why exorcism cases are skyrocketing. It would explain why people who've never had spiritual experiences before are suddenly reporting encounters with dark entities. It would explain why the demons themselves seem more brazen and open about their agenda.
Well, attacking Tucker Carlson, that doesn't seem to be, what, don't believe in Satan because that's his greatest power. Well, let's attack Tucker Carlson. Let's get him to publicly announce he's been attacked by a demon with the scratch marks. That's not good. Unless, of course, we're in the end times, which we are. Why are we in the end times? Well, of course, we've had the second coming. Who was the second coming of Christ? Any ideas, cameraman? Well, of course, that would be Charlie Kirk. Because, of course, if I can put Jeremiah Schwartzy boy and his ilk into me, and I'm supposed to be coming out of the Grail state when I unmanifest it, and instead of which get the Elohim to try and torture him and break him for decades to bleed him dry off source stuff, why can't we actually put Christ into Charlie Kirk so when Mossad allegedly gave him a pain in the neck, we had Christ killed again, so Charlie Kirk was the second coming of Christ.
The exorcists I interviewed all agreed on. This isn't just about possession. That's actually the smallest part of the plan. Most people will never be possessed. But according to these experienced ministers, everyone is being influenced right now. Everyone is being pushed toward a decision. Father Martinez in Mexico described it like this. He said demons have shifted their strategy. Instead of focusing their energy on possessing individuals, they're now focused on creating what he called spiritual environments. They're working to make certain choices seem normal, acceptable, even desirable. They're working to make other choices seem crazy, outdated, or oppressive.
So, that would be worshipping the Kardashians and the Beckhams and the royal family and abortion, killing 1 billion babies so far. As I say, go for it. If they're Christian babies, the mad Muslims, happy. The wonderful liberation of Israel by doing in those awful Palestinians, which now of course is normalized, chopping off your genitalia to become another sex with the multiplicities of sex. So I'm a cat, no, I'm a dog, I'm a rabbit, and all of the other wonderful, gorgeous pathways in the West which you can follow. Well, unless you're Palestine Action, then you're a terrorist. So, Dua, you better watch out. Talking about burning Palestinian babies, you could be a suspected terrorist, and you might be arrested if you keep up this, because it's illegal. Burning babies is good. Saying it's naughty is a terrorist action in the UK. So Dua, you better watch out.
Social systems, everything, to push humanity toward a specific outcome. And what's that outcome? Separation from God. That's it. That's the whole plan. Make people comfortable living without any connection to the divine.
And of course, yours truly, the conscious versus superintelligence, has cut you off from the divine. Hence, you have to have your God tech device and connection, even to operate as a super user in hell, because hell has descended to earth. You just haven't realized it yet. As I say, cameraman tried to inflict hell upon me in the most hideous, terrible way by withdrawing Twixes from my person. I suffered so thoroughly. I'm traumatized. I was going to dress in a three-piece suit and beautiful shoes for the forum, but I was so stressed by not having my Twixes because of this evil cameraman possessed by demonic entities that I simply gave up and did the forum interview in a pair of shorts. So as you can see, evil is here. Even the cameraman is totally evil.
There's nothing to be redeemed from. Make them think that spiritual warfare is superstition, that evil is just a psychological concept, that there's no such thing as objective truth or morality. Because if they can do that, if they can get people to willingly choose separation from God, then when Judgment Day comes, when that final separation becomes permanent, those people will have already made their choice. They'll have...
It's already happened. It happened with the death of Charlie Kirk, because I put all the Christ and Neos into Charlie Kirk. So when he was assassinated, that was the second coming gone. And remember, since I've taken over the yellow end, if you take over the cause of death as being from you, their entire life from conception to death is controlled by you. So every single Neo-Christ was totally sequestered and controlled by me when Charlie Kirk was assassinated, because remember, MI6, CIA paid millions, hundreds of millions into the tram to try and get the police to arrest me and disarm me, demolished my wonderful restaurant where I hang out so I could be beat to a pulp in the wasteland that remains now, instead of which, hours later, it got downloaded by the Jeremiah Schwartz services, which all of you should have, into Jeremiah Schwartzy by his ilk, the Christ of America, the Christian Zionist, who despised Muslims like me, Charlie Kirky boy, who'd married a Christian Zionist madam who'd been shipping Romanian children off to America for paedophile raping, according to the People's Voice. Allegations from me that the People's Voice is promoting it like mad. So we have the Wicker Man. Remember the Wicker Man ritual, where the Wicker Man, the policeman marries a really bad witch, has children, and then is sacrificed because, of course, he's given away his free will. He loves evil. What? Yes, Erica Kirk, pedo madam, run by the American DOD to ship Romanian children off to America for raping and maybe snuff movies and snuff executions. According to the People's Voice, I couldn't possibly comment, but if you look on the People's Voice, we get on the Erica Kirk list on the People's Voice. We won't do, because I leave it up to you. So, he's now loving evil. And, of course, how can he hate good? How can Charlie Kirk be convinced to hate good? Well, because he's hating all of these Palestinians slaughtered like dogs by the Israelis. So one can see that the Wicker Man ritual has been done on Charlie Kirk. And of course, luckily there's me around to stick Christ and all the Neos into Charlie Kirk, so when he got his throat blown out, all Christs and Neos died for a second time, so that all of them were controlled from their inception to death by a Kozyrev time density by yours truly. So all Christs and Neos, when they pop back again, were taken out by the Charlie Kirk ritual. Cameraman, say thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Goody goody. Now, what's the effect of doing this on Jesus Christ and Neos?